Thinking about it still like makes me rage on the inside. It was like, hey guys, welcome back to our channel, and today we are talking about how to apply to Hagwons. And again, Hagwons are academies here in Korea, and they're basically like after school. They're private businesses or organizations that run extra classes and extra curriculum for students after school. You know, we didn't really have that culture back in America of like I went to like art class after school, or just like we did like more fun extracurriculars. Here these kids actually like go to class and study, and they get homework. It's basically like an extension of school. And it's because of the whole like Korea is super competitive, and they always want their kids to like be above average, and that's like a whole other discussion. But if you guys don't know, me and Payton recently did not re-sign our Epic contract.
So we're done with Epic. We'll be done.
We'll be done by the time this video is out with Epic, and hopefully moved into our new apartments. But for now, we're just going to talk about how we apply to Hagwons. And the process, I will say, is pretty similar to doing it from not in Korea. Versus doing it here. It's just the timeline is shorter when you're living in Korea. I think like between the time of us starting to apply and us actually signing our contracts for getting our job, it's just like a few weeks.
Mine was just a week.
When you started looking? No, when you started like sending your email to recruiters. To when you signed your contract? No, it was longer than a week. So basically, okay, so let's go through like how we got our jobs from start to finish. So first thing is you want to have a really good resume. If you guys don't know how to make a resume, just like Google it. There's templates online. But it should be pretty straightforward. Like you should list your basic information, like your name, your contact information. And this includes things like your telephone number, but also because it's Korean based, your Skype ID is also really important, and your email obviously. And then like, your experience professionally, and if you never had teaching experience, just like something that can like relate back.
A lot of things can be teaching experience. Yeah,
like if you did tutoring back in school, like you can relate that to like teaching others, but just make sure it's like relevant. You also want to have your educational background on there, because it's really important. They need to make sure that you graduated, because they're going to need your diploma information and stuff like that. Definitely also make sure to have it in both formats of Word and PDF, because I personally like to send mine in PDF, but here they actually sometimes prefer Word. I don't know why. And then if you have any like languages that you know, and also any like TOEFL certifications, things like that.
The qualifications with Hagwons are basically the same as Epic. So again, like if you don't have a degree in education and you're not like a licensed teacher, then you will have to get a TOEFL certificate. So it's like the same qualifications for teachers.
So again, it doesn't matter if you studied something else that's not education related. You just need to at least have your TOEFL. It's like 100+ hours or something. And then next, so a lot of places prefer a cover letter. So just make sure you have that like prepared. It should be really easy, like 1 page. So some people are really open. We were both a little bit more specific. Like we were both like, we really want to teach kindergarten and elementary school students, because that's just like our bread and butter. Like that's what we know. Our location, again, like you can say you're open, but that could be like really vague. It's better for recruiters because then they can send you kind of anywhere that's like available. But again, you have to think about what you want, and what's important to you in terms of that. And then you should talk about, if you're on a visa already, like if you're in Korea like us, honestly, it's easier for us to get a job because we're already here. But, again, not a big deal. They do like talk to people outside as well, obviously, as you know. And then last, you need a picture. This is, I think, the most important, honestly, out of like the 3 things that you need. I think your picture is the most important because, not to like drag Korea, but they are, again, like they base a lot of things on your looks. Like when I went to my interview, like there was like my resume, and like beneath my resume was like this whole, like literally an A4 explosion of my face. Yeah. And I was like, that's really like unnecessary, I think, because I'm already here, but like, okay.
So it should be like a passport-like photo, but you want it to be like where you're smiling. You don't want it to be like the passport photo where you look like
you're ready to like sneak some shit across the
not like a sad passport photo, like a happy passport photo where they're like, okay, this person, I can see them working with children. And like dress nice in it.
I would say even just like a t-shirt is fine, but just like nothing, like don't wear this.
Right.
Just like professional but also happy is good. And definitely passport, like, so like this way. Don't like take your don't like scroll through your Instagram and try to find like a sexy photo. Let's get just your life with you. Okay. So now to the important stuff. So where do you find a job? There's lots and lots of places. The internet is your best friend.
Yes, that is the place to find these jobs. So you can look at job boards. So there's like Dave's ESL Cafe. I think that's what most of us use in our friend group that are like transitioning to Hagwons. And with that, you can just like apply. Like recruiters will post on there. Sometimes it's like schools directly posting, and they have like the information, the location, stuff like that. And then you just email them all of the documents that we just talked about. And if they're interested in you, they will get back to you.
Oh, and we also forgot you should have letters of recommendation. I would say at least 2 just to be safe, because a lot of places don't require them, but a lot of places require at least 1 or 2. And these are, if you're currently teaching in Korea, obviously your current Korean co-teachers. But if you're not in Korea, I would say anyone who can talk best to your character. So like a current supervisor is best, or a professor is best. I wouldn't ask like your friend. Or like your neighbor who you know really well. Like that's not like a good resource. And just to note, they will contact them. So Dave's ESL. There's also other ones like Korea Bridge, Work and Play. There's Facebook groups as well dedicated to looking for jobs in certain areas. So if you just type in like jobs in Busan, jobs in blah, 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 like they should pop up.
There's also a group called like Teaching Jobs in Korea, and recruiters will post on there, or just people who are like, they're leaving their job and their job is looking for someone, so they're just like helping them out.
Yeah. So definitely look on those. And then there's when you're writing your email, make sure your topic line is very clear, because these recruiters get a lot of emails. A lot of recruiters will post like a lot of positions. So if you're looking at a specific position, just say like
they usually number them too.
Yeah, like this number, like home day English teacher position, like interested or inquiry, stuff like that. So just make sure it's like very clear that you're looking for a job in your email. Your letter email should just be like very simple. It should be like a shorter version of your cover letter, like something short, succinct, like keep it formal. They're not your friend, but you know, they will try to like help you out and look for a job for you. I would say maybe like a paragraph is good, and just like a quick like who you are, what you are looking for, your background, something like quick. So the postings are usually recruiters. Schools, like, you know, they're busy. Like, it's just easier to go through recruiters. But also a lot of them are directly with schools. So, you know, you'll find both. Just, like, you know, throw out a net and see what catches on. It's like any job. Like, you literally just have to send them out and, like, hear back.
And a lot of the recruiters, it seemed, I think with both of us, they would send a lot of places that like weren't what I was asking for. So just be aware that some recruiters, actually a lot of recruiters, you don't pay them to help you find a job, but if they're successful and you sign in a contract with a school, they get money from that. So just know that some recruiters don't have like your best interest in mind, because they're also like, they need to make money as well. So if they're sending you a lot of things that it's like, this isn't what you're asking for, like just know there's other recruiters out there.
Yeah, there's like a lot of recruiters out there. Oh, and again, recruiters will usually ask for like a quick phone call from you, just to like check out your background and make sure everything's, you know, kosher.
They basically asked me everything that I put in like the cover letter and email, and it was just like me telling them again.
Yeah, I think
like,
it's like
what I'm looking for.
The confirmation.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they actually read it.
Yeah, I don't think they really read it. I think they look at your picture.
Yeah,
I think that's it.
I think that's it too. I think they look at your picture and then they'll like maybe scan your resume really quick. But they don't actually really are reading anything. But they'll ask you again for that confirmation. And it's usually like a quick phone call, 10-15 minutes. I actually did it like during like lunchtime at school usually, or after school. Yeah, and again, like we'd say like one thing and they send me something else, and I'm like, that's literally like the opposite of what I said. And they're literally, it's because they only have so many positions that they can play with, and so they're kind of like, well, maybe she'll think again about this. Like she's, you know, maybe she'll be like open if she actually sees the position. And I will say like positions outside of like more popular areas, if you're okay with like being in a province that's not like as well known, maybe like you're more likely to get more money out of it, or you're more likely to get like better conditions. So just like that's also something to think about. I think there's a lot of sacrifices we kind of had to make when we're looking into positions with our current schools, just because
and like the area we wanted,
in the area we wanted, like we were just you know, those things were more important to us than maybe like some other aspects. So your interviews with the schools can either be in person or they can be on Skype. I don't know why mine had to be in person and Payton's could be on Skype, but
yeah, honestly, we had like a really different experience.
Yeah.
With applying to Hagwons.
We had very different experiences.
We're gonna make separate videos about like our personal experience.
Get ready for my video, guys. So. And then once you do an interview, if everything is great and amazing, if the school says it's a go, you'll probably just get a few days to decide. Like, I would say at most a week, but like my school was even like, a week is too long. Like, we can't give you a week.
Yeah, because they're still interviewing other people, and a lot of these places they're interviewing people who live not in Korea, so
the process would take longer for them to get a visa and actually like, move over, versus for us, we're literally like moving the day. Yeah. So it's literally like we're gonna like pack up our stuff and then like move, and then be in that apartment that day. And then last, I would say it is a very stressful situation anytime you have to look for a job, but definitely breathe. I know I had like a minor panic attack on my part. There were other factors involved, to be fair, but like, you know, I was literally like, I can't.
Yeah, like, honestly, my experience was pretty, like, so selling, but 99.9% due to the fact that I'm a white young female, whereas there's a lot of racism that goes into, like, Hagwon hiring, whereas in Epic, it's much more open to everyone.
Yeah, so I will say that's the really great thing about applying through Epic is like they really don't look at your race or like where you're from, as long as it's one of those countries that you're qualified for, or like your age. Like they really don't discriminate based on any of those physical factors. Versus with Hagwons, they're privately run businesses, and they very much cater to their clients and what the client wants.
What the parents
want. And so in some cases, there are definitely other things to think about. I will say also, my last note is with any job, you should always try to like negotiate. You know, ask about certain things. If you're not 100%, if you like really like the school, but it's just like one little thing that you just like, you know, I would definitely ask, because it's better to ask. And if they say no, they say no. They're not going to be like, and then now you don't get the job. Yeah. Never be afraid to ask. Yeah. And I think that's it. That's how we applied. It was basically a lot of emails and a lot of like phone calls. It was so many recruiters, guys. Like, so let us know if you have any other questions about applying to Hagwons and that whole process. It is very quick. Like, it really didn't take us very long. Well, if we think of anything, you know, we'll let you guys know later. But for now, in the meantime, don't forget to
like, comment, and subscribe.
And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.